السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. رب هب لي من لدنك ذرية طيبة إنك سميع الدعاء. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير. غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم، والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. We are going to start from the verse 25 today. We have covered the previous ones, inshallah. If no one has any further questions or concerns, we can continue today from the verse 25. So the verse 25 says, وَمَا هُوَ بِقَوْلِ شَيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. Well, if you remember where we are coming from, the verses mentioned the signs in the creation, and they described their time dimension, temporal dimension, not spatial only, but temporal. So suddenly the subject changed into the speech of God, and how it was brought by angels. We describe angels so that whatever comes to us, any meaning, that meaning is brought to us by angels, or whatever the means, whatever the vehicle brings the meaning to me, that is called angel. So Angel Gabriel, the name-wise, proper name-wise, represents all the meanings which human beings receive. That was, for me, very important. I keep reminding myself that I have to communicate with angels. It means communicate with the meaning that the universe, as if presents to me or discloses the ghaib aspect of the creation. Ghaib aspect means, very simple example. Very simple example. If you see that the brush is the brush is moving, but you don't see the hand, because what we see in this world, the painting is coming into existence, and different types of painting, it continues to change, and we see that the relationship between cause and effect seems to be what they are acting, like the brush in the hands of the artist drawing the picture. It is a static example, or you can make it dynamic, continuously. And if you don't consider what moves the brush, what do you say? If you don't think about what moves the brush, what do you say? Brush is moving by itself. And so the painting is
coming into existence by the brush.
By the movement of the brush itself. Ghaib means to question the quality of the brush and the paint. And by making a comparison between the quality of the painting, and say, when examining the nature of the brush as much as you can, and making a comparison. Can the brush be the source of this painting? But after making the comparison, what are we comparing? Two things. This is important. We studied this before, but it is important to repeat it. And I don't get tired of repeating this because we don't think in this way. What we have to do, we have to look at the quality of the painting. And then go back to the apparent cause of the painting, which is the brush. And examine the quality of the brush and use your human reasoning whether this brush can be the source of this painting. It's very simple. If it is not, and if you see that the brush cannot move by itself, it has no will, no power, no knowledge, no any quality. It is just a matter. So what happens? As a conclusion, we say brush cannot move by itself, but brush is used by, although I don't see it, I don't have to see it, logically I see it, by a conscious, able, knowledgeable being. And this being, I think you can see this seats are empty. We'll move this way so the newcomers can also, they will feel comfortable to fit in. Yeah. So we conclude from the quality of the painting that the source of this painting must have these qualities to move the brush and make the painting. But since the painting is continuously coming into existence anew, so we say this source must be not of the nature of neither the painting nor the brush, but a completely different thing. Now, again, I like this analogy. We are the part of the painting. Yeah, not apart from the painting. The universe is the painting. We are part of the painting. Never forget this. But as far as we are concerned, I don't know whether there are other conscious beings or not, none of my concern. My concern is I am conscious of my existence. I am conscious of the existence of the things in my environment, and I can analyze them, which kind of qualities they have. So I am a part of the painting. The painting itself, now come to the example, use the analogy now. Do you think the part of the painting, the molecules of the paint, can ever imagine which kind of painter the one who gave them existence. One of them is paper or canvas and paint. The other one is, in the comparison, a human being behind the brush moving. Example. These are all examples. It means creating the things. Can they ever imagine the dimension of the existence of the artist as a human being? But you are only a part of the painting. Think about it. It's a very interesting analogy. You can never imagine, but because you are a conscious being, you know that neither the painting nor the cause and effect relationship between the brush can be the source of their existence. So there must be something completely different. How much it is? You can compare now the analogy, painting and the artist. Is there any way you can imagine as a part of the painting, the artist, a man? In the example, no way. But you are sure that such an amazing thing is giving existence to them. That's our existence. But you cannot ever imagine as a part of the painting a human being. As a part of the painting, never forget this. Yeah.
So I have a question. So in the analogy that you stated, if I'm part of the painting, and I am,
it means I'm part of the universe.
The
universe is the painting,
right?
In the analogy.
So, a conscious painting, wouldn't a conscious painting be able to?
No, not only the human beings are conscious in the painting.
Okay, so let's say a conscious section within a painting. Wouldn't that conscious section within a painting be able to imagine at least some, or only as much as what the painter kind of manifests or acts within that section? And what I mean is, I mean, if the analogy might get really confusing, but if someone draws a really nice curve in a section of a painting, if that section is conscious, wouldn't that conscious section be able to say, okay, the painter draws amazing curves. Not anything beyond that, but at least the areas that are being, let's say, observable.
Observable? A completely different nature of existence level. It means different dimension of existence. One of them is paper and the paint, although some parts are conscious, but the other one is a human being. Because they have no way to imagine which kind of existence the painter has. But what they can, the conscious beings can do, I cannot imagine which kind of being it is. I cannot imagine, impossible, because I can imagine only what? Within the conditions of painting itself. Not a human being, but that is an analogy, impossible. But what conscious beings can do, my source of existence must have such qualities that I cannot describe. That means infinite. That means absolute. I cannot describe it, but it must be something completely different nature than what I am. One of them is painting, the other one is a human being. Impossible to imagine. What does it help us? We are the parts of painting, but through using our consciousness, we can know that such a being beyond my capacity of imagining, but I can conclude that such a being must have undescribable qualities. Because I cannot describe it. I have no, in order to describe it, you have to have a criterion. You have to make comparisons. Yeah, for example, you can compare me with a dog. Yeah, it is alive, I am alive. It walks, I walk, but I walk on 2 legs, or it walks on 4 legs. You can compare it because they are, both of them are of the nature of the same creation or existence. But painting and the painter is never, ever is of the same nature. Impossible. But it doesn't mean that conscious beings cannot be aware of this conscious painter. It means another completely different nature of existence this being has, must have, but no way to imagine it. That is a ghaib aspect of the universe, everything. But we know the existence of it, must exist, must have unimaginable, undescribable qualities, must have. But at the same time, I cannot imagine which kind of being it is. That is why belief in God, in ghaib, in unseen, unknown, unknowable, whatever, is very important in the terminology of the Quran in order to understand the Quran. It refers always, they believe in ghaib, they believe in ghaib, or you should believe in ghaib. But usually they believe in ghaib. يؤمنون بالغيب يؤمنون بالغيب. Why ghaib? It looks like, if you read the Quran literally, it is contradictory. If it is ghaib, how can I believe in it? If you expect me to believe, then I should have some clues. No, as far as the essence of existence of the painter, the part of the painting cannot have any clue at all. But, so the nature of the existence, I made a mistake. I will repeat the sentence, it's important. As far as the nature of the existence of the painter, a part of the painting, how conscious they are, regardless, still they cannot imagine the nature of the painter because it doesn't occur. There is no example within the painting. A human being. Can you imagine? The painter. It's an analogy. Never confuse the analogy. Huh? Don't say God is like a human being. No, it's an analogy. The comparison, all the analogies are taken only for one point. The comparison between the nature of painting and the nature of the existence of painter, artist. Now, one of them is a piece of paper and paint. The other one is a human being. Impossible to compare. Now, the universe is just, the universe consists of atoms, particles. Different combination of it, like a painting, different combination of paints. But the artist uses the brush. Those, people who are not really serious in their thinking, because they condition themselves not to accept something, not to accept right. Anyway, whatever they do, what they say, we don't see the painter, do we? No. So I cannot observe, I cannot really experience, put it into experiments in my observation. The painter, forget about it, there's just imagination. What I see, the brush is moving. Oh, that's it, brush is making them. Answer. That's what the materialist science says. Brush is making. The causes are making the effects, the results. Now, if you understand this example, when you're in your daily life, in your prayers, in your whatever you do, but we will come to the reading the Quran. Whatever you do, never forget that we are a part of the painting. We have no experience, no way to compare the existence of the painter and a paint. Can you imagine? Completely different dimension of existence. So for example, not to confuse that one, I had something, but it is so, how do you say, subtle. So the existence is completely different. So what we do here, we are responsible to believe, to confirm that this painting must have an artist, and it has a completely different nature of existence. Here I am acknowledging it. So in the Quranic, okay, but I will go into some points. Now be patient, inshallah, to complete it. Quran heavily emphasizes on, and invites people to not to commit shirk. It's very simple. Although it seems to be complicated, don't forget about this historical or traditional, conventional understanding of shirk. Assigning a partner to God, it is meaningless, it is irrational, forget about it. Really. It is valid only, I don't know, those people who don't think. But not for you. Shirk means attributing the quality of being the source of existence of this painting to anything, to a part of the painting. That is shirk. Do you understand? The brush is making it, winds are causing it, and the atoms are moving by itself. Look, all of them, because human capacity cannot go beyond the capacity of being a part of painting. That is very important. Cannot imagine anything. Just being a part of painting. So if they don't believe in ghaib, it means there must be something that beyond imagination, undescribable, that is really the source of existence of the painting, because I am a conscious being, I am aware of it. But if I close the door to accept this and confirm it, which is a logical conclusion, it must be so, there must be something as the cause of existence, as the source of existence of universe, this painting. So I am a part of it. So always these unbelievers say, so we cannot imagine it. A part of something is making it, attributing it to something of the nature of painting. But attributing it to something which is of the nature of painting. Be careful. That is shirk. Because we cannot attribute it to anything else if we really want to see it in the as a part of the painting, because we cannot imagine any other kind of dimension of existence. But we can know that there must be such a being. We can conclude that there must be a source of existence, such a being. So shirk is very simple. Saying, for example, the cold caused something. Yeah. You ate your dinner, good. Dinner is taking care of your need for food. It is nourishing you. Look, a part of the painting is regarded as the source of existence of another part. That is shirk. Very simple. You can understand that this shirk is stupid, meaningless. But because we are used to seeing the things in terms of hunger and food, right? Wind and the movement of the branches of the tree, cold and freezing, hot and sweating, we just use it in our daily language without being really conscious of what we are doing. But belief requires consciousness, awareness. So if we don't really use our consciousness to be aware of what I am saying, what I am thinking, what we do, we attribute the things to another part of the universe, which is cause within the painting. It means, for example, one part of the paint may seem to be making the shade of another part of the painting. You say, oh, because of this paint is darker, it makes the shade appear, the appearance of the shade. It is made in this way. It is impossible to accept that a part of the painting is making another part to be in this way. They have no will. They have no power. We examine it, it's very easy. No one can show that atoms have power. No one can show that particles are conscious. Now, shirk is what the Qur'an says. If you don't commit shirk, you go to paradise. It seems to be very easy. Yes, guaranteed. Guaranteed, really. If we and I, particularly as far as I'm concerned, don't commit shirk, I am in paradise, sure. I can guarantee. But it is not easy not to commit shirk. We just attribute the things to causes. We don't see that both of them are giving existence in correlation with each other, connected to each other by the painter. They cannot do it themselves. They are made in this way. That's why they are there. It is understandable, but it needs constant awareness. So, committing shirk is the most abhorred action in the Quran. God says, you can do everything. You are fallible, I understand. You can be defeated by your whims, caprices, etc. I understand. God says, I created you in this way, don't worry. So there are interesting narrations from the Prophet, but it is not our subject. I don't want to go into that. But one thing which has no meaning, not acceptable at all, shirk. It is not forgivable. How can I forgive if you don't turn to me? For example, if I say, I did this, and the court calls me, summons me to the judge summons me to the court. I go to court, and the judge says, example, just an example. Judge says, did you do this? I say, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Are you happy with it? No, not at all. I should have not done it because I know it is against the law, the principle, the will of the administration. I'm sorry. I should have not done it. What it requires? Acknowledgement of the authority. After you acknowledge the authority, what happens? You can apologize. But if one doesn't acknowledge the authority, what it does? I did it. I was happy with it. So what? No way to ask for forgiveness, repentance. That is why if you don't ask the judge, and by admitting that you did something wrong, please forgive me, what do you think the judge does or would do? An idea?
Give you the punishment that you deserve.
That's why shirk is unforgivable, because you are not admitting what you have done wrong. But if someone understands that we are created beings, we are parts of the painting, and there is a painter, and I really, conscious will, by using my will, consciously made a mistake, turn to the creator and say, I should have not done it, I'm sorry. He will forgive. God promises that he will forgive. Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a. That's the guaranteed. But acknowledge it, not without knowing what we are saying. I'm sorry, to whom? You are confessing your mistake to whom? Are you aware of it? That needs consciousness of belief in the Creator, surety. If you are sure about it, you can comfortably ask for forgiveness. It means repent. And of course, as a human being, if you are really aware that what you have done is wrong, you take the side that I should not repeat it. It is wrong, man. Yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah, it opens the way not to repeat it. But one condition, not committing the shirk, it means acknowledging the source of existence. Now, this brings us to the meaning that we extract from the creation and go back to the speech that this Creator gives us. How are we going to treat this speech? We discussed this matter. And the acts of creation has one nature, continuous, the source is absolute, never ends, yeah? And the source of the speech is also the same one. His speech also continues, never ends. It is not that static, as we see it in the form of a book. We mistakenly call this book as the Qur'an. No, it's not Qur'an. It is just written form of concretized form of the speech. But why it is important? Because it conveys the message. And the message is, the meaning is coming from the absolute one. So always take the Quran in your hand, it means Mus'haf. Take the Mus'haf in your hand. Oh, the difference between Mus'haf and Quran. Now, one of them is the book form, the other one is the speech of God. Yeah? But when you read it, don't really confine yourself, limit yourself with the word itself, but the meaning within the context of the Quran, which is endless, limitless. You can interpret, you can understand, bearing in mind that this is coming from an absolute source. So it must be referring to something absolute. It means limitless. So you cannot really put a limit. You cannot really see it in a text which is explaining about a part of the history or a certain humankind or the human population, people, certain people or tribe at all. Impossible. So its meaning must be regarded as appropriate to the quality of the speaker, which is quality of the speaker. Sorry, limitless, absolute, yeah. So the meaning is absolute as well. Now, let's hear you now. That's your turn. If you are in the class and at the same time busy with the iPhone, I wouldn't listen to your question. Sorry. You will never understand what's going on. No missing anything. So I'm sorry, but just I'm speaking to you, but let everybody know that in this class, if you really keep your mind in two different ways, it doesn't work. You hear, but you don't understand. Okay, now.
Well, for the painting, since the painting is the universe.
Yeah, so represents the universe.
So wouldn't the painter understand the painting in terms of the message that is trying to convey?
So let me be clear. So who is trying to understand?
The painter. Well, the message.
But he's the one who gives existence to the painting. What do you mean by trying to understand?
Is the universe.
Yes.
So wouldn't the painter.
Within the painter?
No, within
the painter.
Wouldn't
the painter?
Yes, wouldn't the painter already assert his will on the universe?
Yeah. On the universe.
But he's going to make a conclusion.
Conclusion. I'm sorry, that interpreter is needed. Yes. Conclusion. Who is going to make the conclusion? Why? He's the source of existence. Why he needs to conclude something? He has already decided when they design the computer, design the painting, and that's it. But I think your mind is somewhere else. No. Painter is the source of existence of the painting. We are the part of the painting. We can only think of in terms of the painting. We cannot think of in terms of the painter. But we conclude that there must be a painter who has a completely different nature of existence. Unimaginable. That's it.
So the canvas does not have a message.
Who?
The canvas.
The canvas does not have a message.
Canvas has a message. In its existence, it says, I'm made. I'm used. Canvas cannot be the source of existence of painting. It's obvious, isn't it?
So the message that is being extracted
by
the painter is extracting a message.
No. I am extracting the message in it. But the painting itself is nothing but the message. Disclosing the quality of the artist. That's it. It is whole message. There is nothing in the painting that doesn't really convey the message. Because the aim of the painting is to be the source of the message about ghaib. It means about painter. Disclosing his qualities, not his essence, not his nature, qualities. Why the Quran emphasizes using the typical language of the Quran, which says, get to know God by his names. Beautiful names. You keep hearing that. It means qualities, perfect qualities, absolute qualities. Because we can only understand that, we can only conclude that the quality of the painter, the qualities of the painter must be absolute. That's it. We cannot say further than this. Just saying that it is not describable. Impossible to describe, because I can only describe the things by making a comparison in terms of painting, not in terms of a human being who made the painting. Example. Impossible. Impossible. I think we can come to your.
I got my answer.
Okay. So, because you are not using iPhones, I'm not going to say anything to you. Don't worry. Okay?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Any further question?
I'm going to bring it back to a topic that I usually mention a lot, which is non-existence. You're making here, one, that the essence of the painter, of the source of creation, is unknowable. It's incomparable to anything that is derived from it.
So,
The other thing is, it does have similarities to the qualities. So let's say
no, it's similarities? No.
No. For example, if I observe generosity
Yeah.
in my experience,
Mm-hmm.
I can apply that quality to the source of saying there is the absolute generous, and I observe it in the universe.
But it is not similarity.
Then
Because, for example, let's use the analogy again, go back to the analogy. Where, as far as we know, the artist has the quality of artistry, right? And when it manifests it, this quality manifests there, but this manifested quality of artistry has nothing to do with the nature of artist's talent, but points to the existence of this quality in the artist. We, as a part of the painting, have to refer back saying these qualities are nothing and nowhere, from nowhere, except the artist manifests his quality in it. There is no similarity, but hinting, reference, as the language of the Quran says, the ayah. Ayah means pointing to, what is the ayah translated? Usually signs. Signs. Yeah, these are only signs to the existence of the quality of the painter in absolute form. No way to imagine for human beings the absolute form. That's why not the similarity, but signs, yes, signs of the existence of the quality of the painter. Do you understand now the language? Now be careful. You should record the signs to the existence of the quality of the painter. No similarity. I mean, you didn't mention, but I'm not speaking to you only for a general. No part of God, For example, something a part of the talent of the painting is dropped on the painting. Some of the parts of the talent of the painter, 1/1,000,000th of it, dropped in the painting. No, just a manifestation. Your knowledge is you. When you speak, you transfer your knowledge, but it is not a part of your knowledge that gets out of you and becomes it is impossible. We human beings are, don't misunderstand, this language is used in various cultures. We are created in the image of God. What does it mean? We can use ourselves as a criterion to make an analogy. For example, if I have the ability to paint, I do the paint. I make a painting, and I know that I haven't lost anything from it. If I make 1,000,000,000 paintings, what happens? As far as my quality is concerned, my quality, my talent of painting, ability, artistry, never diminishes. Because I am a creative being, it increases. Never diminishes. Because I know millions of them. It means you cannot get, again, an analogy. You cannot get a drop from the ocean in order to understand the ocean. But ocean is full in its capacity, in its existence. We can understand the existence of ocean only when it manifests, reflects its quality in the painting. Conscious beings are moving into painting. If somebody can make this, not a movie, something, the part of the painting is conscious, looking at her, but never imagine the painter is a human being. Impossible. But just see that the things are connected to each other and coming into existence within an order, but none of them has the power or quality to make the other exist. That's why if someone, I believe, that's my conviction, does not commit shirk in this sense, the paradise is guaranteed. The Prophet guarantees, the Qur'an guarantees, and human mind also, intellect also guarantees it. But without making a shirk. Now, from one aspect, it is so obvious that shirk is a mistake. From another aspect, from our practical life, habitual life, very difficult. It needs training. Continuously concentrating on this topic, reflecting on it a lot, questioning it continuously. That needs special effort. Otherwise, no one says there are two gods. It is stupid, it made it ridiculous, and it is unimaginable what it means really two gods. What does it mean by two gods? Come on, go on, be ridiculous. No one says two gods. In order to say there are two gods, it means you have to have the concept of God first. And what do you mean by God? If it is not absolute, it cannot be God. If it is absolute, they cannot be two absolute. It is contradictory. I'm sometimes irritated. I get irritated with this, the conventional tradition speaks about this kind of subjects. Doesn't make sense. Okay. Any more?
Can I finish the thought? Because what I was trying to get at was, the first thing is incomparable, and the other one you're pointing out as manifestation, right, of the experience of the source. I also related
experience
or manifestation or
of the qualities, absolute qualities.
The existence of the quality. right? You said
What word?
manifestation.
Oh, yeah. It's
Right?
perfect. It's perfect.
So I can also understand that as the manifestation of the existence of the quality is my existence, saying I am. The fact that I am, my existence is pointing to the existence of the qualities that are manifested in me,
In my existence.
in my existence.
Yes.
And then I can also say what my source is also what I am, right?
What?
The source is what I am, as in the source is the manifestation.
Sources of what?
The source of my existence is manifested as the qualities in me.
It manifested qualities.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But the source of existence is
also what I am not, which
the
is
painter.
what?
The source of existence of your qualities
Right,
is
is
the
the
painter.
painter, which I have no understanding of,
Yeah.
which is what I'm not. So the source of my existence is manifested in what I am and also what I'm not.
What do you mean by I'm not? What do you mean? You cannot imagine what you are not.
Exactly.
So why
the
do you bring
the essence of my source I cannot imagine.
the existence of your source?
Essence.
Essence of your source you cannot imagine.
That is what I'm not.
But it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So why do you bring non-existence in the subject? It is irrelevant.
Because I also said that non-existence exists.
No.
At some point it did. Before,
No, it doesn't.
In the knowledge of the creator.
No.
In the knowledge of the painter.
No, it doesn't exist. It's just an option. How many times you talked about it? It is just an option for human beings to make decisions between two options.
Before I came into existence, where did the knowledge about my existence exist?
So as far as you are concerned, you cannot talk about your questioning your existence before you came into existence or you became the calm. To become conscious of your existence, it means a certain age.
But is
So
it the
you
point
are
of the
just
creator to bring something from non-existence into existence?
no. That is the non-existence. Not the creator is not bringing something from non-existence into existence. It is a wrong vocabulary because from non-existence means there is something which is called non-existence. What does it mean? Non-existence doesn't exist. How can you bring something from non-existence? It doesn't exist. It is just an imaginary option for human beings. So be careful about this. Non-existence is just an option. Nothing else, no reality, no way that you can use it to explain anything. No, of course, non-existence has because we can imagine how many times you talk about it.
A lot. Because I feel it's more important than that.
No.
Maybe definition of not existent. What is the simple definition? If something doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, that's it. But the non-existence by its own definition, it means non-existent. How can you?
But I have that quality, not quality, but the existent being, the source of existence is the existent being that is it did not derive existence from anything else. So that existent being, the word or the application of non-existence can never apply to it, right? Because it's an existence.
But why do you?
But it applies to me, and that's what makes me different then what makes it incomparable for me to be in the painting and to never be able to comprehend the painter, because non-existence applies to me, but not to the source itself.
No.
That remains
non-existence. Non-existence doesn't apply you because it doesn't have an existence that will apply you.
But before I existed in matter, where did I exist?
No, before you existed in matter, so you cannot imagine. You can imagine only within the limits of your consciousness. Your consciousness cannot comprehend the nature of existence that you were created. You existed before you existed. It doesn't make sense.
I admit that I cannot understand the nature
or
of my
anything. So,
non-existence, similar to how I cannot comprehend the nature of the source itself.
so you can only comprehend, you can only think about, reflect on it, what you can see, what you can experience, what you are conscious of it. So all the other things are alternatives. For us, we say, before we did it, we were not created in this world, because somebody must accept that he has given existence. I did not exist. For me, I conclude I did not exist. But in reality, I don't know. But I cannot make any conclusion. And I'm not responsible to make any conclusion about it. Just I am responsible to explain the existence of the things around me and which kind of thing can be the source of existence of these things. Not to commit shirk means this. It means, what is the source of existence of these things here? No, this is nothing more. As if I am looking at the laptop and seeing that it is really made by an engineer, I'm sure. Okay. Okay. How about before I'm questioning, before the engineer made this computer, what existed?
The idea is
No, it is just imagination.
But the
It is
idea
just
exists.
human.
If you imagine something, right? If I have a dream, whether or not you believe it or not, it existed in my head.
No, it is a real existence. Dream is a real existence, but not imagination.
I see anything that you haven't seen, right? Even if you haven't seen
It is just an ability. Sorry, we are just wasting time. It is just an ability to make comparison. This computer exists, and I can imagine a time when this computer didn't exist, but I should have no time, or no, I shouldn't spend any time. What was the engineer doing when the computer wasn't there? I don't know. It's not just an imagination. This is just an option which has no reality in existence at all. Just an option, because we are coming to this point now. This message is not at the last verse. This message is not the word of any rejected satanic force. Satanic force represents what? That's what I was coming to. Satanic verse means satanic force or Satan. But we will talk about rejected sometimes later. Satan. What is Satan?
That doesn't exist. Illusion.
And is symbolic representative of anything which does not exist. But that is an option for human beings. That's an option for human beings. This is identified by saying Satan. Because it doesn't, whatever, because it is not the word of any Satan, let's say. Why? Because it never refers to which has no reality in existence. Whether at the level of existence of painting or at the level of existence of the painter. No, that is Satan, represents Satan. Satan represents what does not exist, which is in Arabic language, Adam. Now, it is Adam. It means existence of reality, non-existence of reality. That is human capacity. That we are given this capacity to imagine the non-existence of anything. Well, we gave the simple example last week. I remember when I say pen exists here, it means I can say that it is, for me, rather than not existing, it exists. That's why I question how come that this pen came into existence. If there was no Satan representing the non-existence, I would never be able to reflect on the existence of anything, because I would have no option to make a comparison. That is my capacity, given my capacity in this way. My Creator gave me this capacity. By making comparison, I conclude. Right? So this doesn't, for example, non-existence of the pen, simple, doesn't exist. This has no reality. It is just an ability to make the comparison. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, just wondering. So we're saying that Satan is like a symbolic representation of something that does not exist.
Yeah.
It's unreal. So
denying the reality, I mean, you can put it in this way. Any idea which contradicts the reality is symbolized by Satan. Yeah. Represented by Satan, if such a thing exists, I don't know. I don't care, because angels are the meanings that I can extract. If there is no meaning, but I made up something, it is called Satan. If there is a meaning and I confirm it, that is angel. That is human nature again. We cannot make any decision if there was no, this is, how do you say, notion of opposite of existence. The opposite of existence.
So let me get this straight. So
Sorry?
let me get this straight. So there's a meaning that I extract, which I cannot confirm. That's
I cannot.
confirm.
Why? Not why you cannot confirm. The meaning, if there is a meaning, it exists.
Okay.
Non-existence doesn't exist, and there is no meaning. So you cannot confirm non-existence.
Okay.
So that if there's a meaning, you have to confirm it, because you are intelligent and you know that it exists, and you have to question what is the source of existence of this meaning.
So, okay.
I think we need to train ourselves more in this subject, more. We have to talk about it more. Don't get tired of it, because this subject is not studied and not widely known in any believing society. They don't concentrate on it. So they just symbolize the things, give them external existence as if they know it. They say, I believe in angels, I believe in Satan. What do you mean by it? They don't know. Okay.
So the way we define angels is like message carriers. So something that when you get a meaning out of something, it's transferred through a medium, right? That's
the medium side is not important at this stage now. When you get the meaning, we call it angel.
okay.
Okay. Because transfer is another step in understanding angels. Yeah.
So as far as satanic
Yeah.
meaning.
Meaning? No, not meaning.
Okay.
No. As far as satanic inspirations, which is just an option for human beings to make decision between two options. One of them is the meaning, the other one doesn't exist.
So if I'm, okay, that's great. So if I'm observing an object, let's say an apple, I say, oh, it must have a maker. So what
Or
was
it
the
has
other
this
option?
quality. This quality is not from the apple itself, and it's not from the sun, because sun doesn't know
so
what
that's
it is
the
doing.
option. So that's the option where I can say, yes, this must have a maker, or oh, it just happens to be there by itself. So that's the option.
It is as it is, for example. It happens by itself. For example, some people say, so those people made very famous by people, political forces, they say it exists by itself. The existence itself by itself is this famous philosophers speak in this way, that there are all these kind of names. Stupid when you read their books, you got really, these people are philosophers or idiots. But what makes them justifiable, their ideas? Because the people who claim to believe do not know what they are believing, how to present what belief is. So because of the vagueness, they sound as if they are making philosophy out of nothingness. Out of nothingness. So Satan.
It's just a false idea.
Sorry?
It's just a false idea presented to you.
Imagination for human being, because if there was no Satan or this option, we would never be able to know the existence of the meaning, because the meaning to human beings are given the capacity to make the comparison between meaning and meaninglessness. Now, this is just an option to human free will to operate. Yeah, so we can attribute the existence of something to meaninglessness like nature by itself, or say it doesn't mean, it doesn't make sense because it's rejected. Rejected means rejected Satan, Rajim Satan. In the language of the Qur'an, Rajim means you can, when you hear it, you can definitely reject this idea because it has no base at all. It has no existence. You can easily reject it. That's why it is rejected. Not a stones or something, these are symbolic explanations. So there is something, an object there, you throw stone, it's ridiculous. So that is, by its own nature, unacceptable, because it doesn't have any reality whatsoever. So, but it is just an option.
Is imagination?
No, what we call it imagination, but this is a quality given to human beings to make a decision between two options, so that you will be aware of the existence. You will be aware of the existence of something only if you are able to make a comparison between the existing thing and its opposite. Its opposite is always existence and non-existence of the existence.
Right.
But it's just an option. So human free will operates in this way. We are able to be aware of existence only by making comparisons. We should know ourselves. So denial is rejecting the reality. It means what exists. It means accepting what does not exist, what does not have any reality in existence. Just it's human option given. You can say imagination, but of course someone may argue that imagination also is a type of existence. Yes, but the option that you can just imagine, the ability to imagine exists. The content of what is imagined doesn't exist. Be careful with this point. Write it down and think about it. Yeah.
I don't know if you already touched upon this, but basically, like, I understood what your question was, but I guess like it's the essence of the creator or the painter cannot be. There's no way we can grasp it as a part of the painting, and so to say, well, we must have existed in the imagination of the creator is to
just a minute. There's something going on wrong here. Be careful with the language. Last sentence. Can you please repeat it?
to say that we existed in the imagination of the creator is to say that.
What do you mean imagination of creator?
No, I'm literally.
No. Don't refer to that point. You are talking completely different subject.
No.
No. Talk about yourself.
Uh-huh.
Now, what is your question? If you have it. If you don't have it, don't make it up.
I'm not making up a question.
Oh, I know what I'm saying. If you don't have it, don't make it up. I'm not saying you are making it up. Okay, carry on.
So I'm saying, to make a statement, the creator, we must have existed in the imagination of the creator. It's to say the creator had an imagination.
They call it image of the creator. It means as a representative in your existence, saying and making a comparison between. For example, you have a sense. For example, you have an ability to know something. You have an ability to love something, to hate something. Yes, but can you really find out in your own existence there? But you know that it exists in your practical life when it manifests it, right? When it manifests it, you become aware of its existence. In this way, we cannot know the creator's nature at all, but unless it manifests it. How many times we gave the example? For example, if a person comes to this room and says, I am the most famous singer, we look at him. There is no sign, right? How do we know that he is the best singer? Example. Only after you say it. Say it.
Right, but like.
So no. Say it. Only after. Sorry, no. Speak to the public. So look. He says, I am the best singer. Now, by looking at him like this, do you know that is there any sign that he is the best singer? The quality is there, but you cannot see it. You can see the quality only after continue.
He sings.
Performs,
Okay, but,
manifests it. Sorry?
Basically, what I was saying is that we can't know. There's no way of us knowing that we existed in the creator's imagination because we don't know if he has an imagination. We don't have that information.
All right. Why do you? But we cannot imagine because it's a completely different level of existence. We have no experience of it.
Right, that's my point.
That's it. No way. So don't confuse the imagination of God, image of God. Don't confuse. Use yourself as a criteria, as a criterion to understand that although you have various qualities, but you can understand, you can make it manifest only after you perform them. So the universe is the performance of the qualities of the creator. That is only the criteria we use ourselves. That is what although it is also accepted by Muslim scholarship, and some people even refer it to a hadith, or I don't care about whether that's the real hadith or authentic one, but it is accepted by the scholars, saying that human beings are created in the image of God, but we have to understand it, nothing to do with really representing, for example, within the painting, There is an image of the painter, impossible. But what is it? You can use it as a criterion to understand that the maker of the universe can only be known by observing the manifestations of his qualities, by using yourself. How can I know that you are, let's say, the best mathematician in the world? By looking at them, go into the brain, the stupid people said it is recorded in the cells of the brain. Go into the brain and see that, oh, but look, he has many, a lot of uncountable knowledge about mathematics. It's stupid, impossible. That is a quality. That is only a quality, can be known only after it manifests. So that is the best example for us. By using our own capacity, understanding that the creator of the universe can only be known by observing his manifested qualities, saying that the source of this quality is the one who creates the universe. That is belief in God. And any other idea contradicts this, is represented in the language of the Qur'an, Satan. And the Satan is rejected, stoned, which means rejected. Why? By its nature, none of the human beings, human ability, can really confirm what this non-existent thing in reality has any function. There's something non-existent. I cannot demonstrate it. I cannot see any sign of its existence and say the universe is created by nature. That's Satan. If someone says, I am very knowledgeable and I am proud of my knowledge, that is Satan. You cannot be the owner of your knowledge. This is given to you. You just ask, beg. You are a beggar. It is given to you. You cannot create your knowledge. But you can ask. When the creator gives you, it promises that it gives you. So if someone says, this is a very important statement, very important statement. It is very valuable. What is nature in the universe? Nature in the universe is egoistic understanding of oneself in human being. Exactly the same. Both of them are Satan. So some people say, especially the Sufi tradition, says Satan is within you. It means your own claim, which has no reality whatsoever. For example, I can see well. You cannot see well. You are given the ability to see. It is not your property. You have to say, I am given the ability to see by my creator. It is not my eyes. They are given to me. And the power of sight is given to me by my creator. I cannot really create the power of sight. I didn't know. I just found myself created with this ability. So when you say in daily language we use this, I can think about it, and I will think about it. I can do that. For example, these are all satanic phrases. What shall we do? In daily language, it's practical. We don't really mean it. We may not. We may. Some materialist people mean it. We are the creators of our own actions. The materialist people claim this. They are idiots. So forget about them. But at this we When we use this language, this is for practical reason. We have to watch out and be careful that they are all given to me, but just I'm conveying, because it is not in the materialist language. It is not in the materialist language, which is practical language, that I am made see. I am given existence made to be able to see. I am given existence with the capacity to think. It doesn't belong to me. I am made in this way. I am just using it. I am the, we made the slogan many months ago. I am nothing but consumer, consuming what is created. And when I use my free will, I am doing nothing but begging. Please create it for me. Yeah? For example, I'm sitting here, the simple example, I want to stand up. Huh? I stood up, right? So I say I stood up. No, no. I wanted to stand up. This option is given to me. When I want, it means I am asking my Creator to enable me to stand up. Because all the qualities needed to stand up do not belong to me. The muscles work, I don't know how they do work. The blood vessels work, I don't know how they work. How can I say that this is my property? I am made in this way. I am from one perspective. When we use our free will, we are nothing but beggars. In the language of the Quran, sa'il. Sa'il. Beggars. Asking God to create me. When I am giving something, after I am giving something, I have been giving these hands, for example, I am consuming what is given to me. The hands are not mine. They are given to me. I am just consuming what is given to me. The ability to move, for example, can you imagine? Just make one finger here and there like this, or like this, or like this. How many chemical reactions are happening? Can you imagine? In a second, 6 million different chemicals are happening within one cell. That is the creation. Can you imagine the source of this creation? In one cell, 6 million chemical reactions are taking place in 1 second. That is the work of God. The Quran says, هذا خلق الله أروني ما خلق من دون الله, or confused. Show me anything other than God, what they created. أروني, I knew it, I forgot it. هذا خلق الله ماذا خلق ما من دون الله. About the language, I'm confused. So you can Google it, not now, after the class. هذا خلق الله أروني blah blah blah. Yeah, من دون الله. That is something. And ما خلق من دون الله, something like this, but it doesn't sound right. The Quranic language is perfect, but I couldn't get it. So it means we have to be amazed, mesmerized by the fact of this creation and say, nothing but Allahu Akbar. Nothing but Allahu Akbar. Unimaginable. Nothing. The creator of the universe is unimaginable. Okay. So some people made a lot of, literature about it. Please, God, give me a glimpse of your reality, something like this spending. But it means we must wonder always, not to imagine the nature of the Creator. Which kind of Creator he must be? Amazing. All this language, Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar, all this language, La ilaha illallah, summarizes this reality. It is unimaginable. It's amazing. You cannot imagine it's a part of the painting. But the painter is a human being. Can you imagine at all? A part of the painting can ever imagine a human being? It's a completely different nature of existence. Now, we have to know that while we are praying, while we are thinking about our reality, we have to get amazed. Why do you think, I'm being a little bit sensitive now, why do you think we bow and say, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim? Because I can only express his majestic being, Azim, supreme being, by my accepting I can't do anything but bow. It means I'm nothing. Yeah? It means this, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. I can only express with the negative side, right? For example, the Qur'an keeps saying La ilaha illallah, yes? When we say Allah, it means La ilaha. Nothing at all in this creation has this quality of being the source of existence of this universe. So, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la, it means my creator, who is Rabbi, my Lord, my creator, my owner, is Subhan, beyond description. Subhan, beyond description. A'la is sublime. How do you express the sublimity of the creator, your creator, on the opposite side? By going down and putting your forehead on the floor. That's only the way I can express. I am nothing, but he is the most sublime one. So if you have this La ilaha illallah, if you have this Allahu Akbar, meaning, for example, why do you say, sitting up like this, and say Allahu Akbar and bow down? Why? Why Allahu Akbar? I am doing this just the opposite of what my source of existence is. Akbar. How can you explain Akbar? God is being the greatest. God is being the greatest. How? By admitting that is like him. By the opposite. So if someone says, who is God? You say, La ilaha. It's very simple. La ilaha. There is no source of existence in this world. This is just a painting. There must be a painter. This painter is called God. If any insinuating idea sneaks into our minds, that is Satan. But you can know easily that it is unacceptable. It has no reality. Reject it, Satan. When you say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, you should be aware of what you are saying. I mean, we have all these symbolic meanings into real things, and we don't know what they are. I don't know what they say, Satan. And I'm really afraid of Satan, because God said, seek refuge with me from Satan's inspirations. That's what I'm doing it. What is that? I don't know. It is very, I mean, we have to refresh ourselves. We have to question.
Yeah, the stupid question. I'm wondering, we talk about non-existence as an option.
No. Ah, yeah, it's an
Okay,
option. So it is nothing.
But does it give us some consensus or awareness?
Sorry?
Does it give us some?
Does it not give us?
No,
No,
does it give us?
It doesn't give us.
Does it give us?
Doesn't give us consensus, awareness that we don't know.
Does it give us consciousness that we don't know?
No, we are not the source of knowing. No, the language is very, very fine. It needs to be very finely, very subtle thing. Not we don't know, we know. How? We are given existence.
You said many times, I don't know.
No,
And I said the same thing.
no. I didn't say I don't know. I said the knowledge doesn't belong to me. I am the beggar. I am given knowledge. That's what I have to admit. I am given knowledge. It's different from I don't know. So now, that the manifested word, for example, the painting, they cannot say that I don't exist. It exists, the painting.
Existence agreed.
Yeah.
But there is a part I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I don't know the existence of God.
No.
I cannot imagine.
Excuse me. Let's make it fruitful. The dialogue.
Yeah.
Not you don't know, because you have to make the distinction between you cannot know the essence of the maker, but you can know the qualities of the existence of this maker. So this I don't know means it's a meaningless sentence.
But doesn't the maker give me the quality of possibility to say I don't know?
Sorry, quality of?
Does the maker not give me the quality to say I don't know?
No. That is your imagination. That's your ability to say this, but it doesn't have any reality. Now, you can say nature created the universe. It doesn't mean that such a thing, which is called nature, exists. That's an option. You can just say it. Tongue says it. You are given the ability to say it, but the content, I said, this sentence, write it down, and think about it for a week. The content of this sentence does not exist, but your ability to say it is created by God. It is given the option to you by your creator, but the content of it doesn't exist. For example, the best example, which is very famous, nature makes it. You can say it, but the content of nature makes something does not exist, because the very concept itself does not contain any reality. That is why satanic idea that they say. It means represented, but the Satan represents this idea that such a thing may exist or exists, but the content of it doesn't exist. For example, I say, look, I have, let's say, a quarter in my hand. I can say it. Yeah? I can say it. I have a quarter in my hand. Right? And open it. There is no quarter. The content does not exist, but I can say that I have a quarter in my hand. That is telling a lie. The Qur'an makes the parallel between lying and committing shirk. Shirk is lying. Lying has no existence, external existence, but be careful, the content of lie does not exist. The content of committing shirk does not exist, but I can have the option, I can choose the option to claim it. That is human nature. That's why we have to make comparisons. That is why Quran keeps saying La ilaha illallah, because our ability to works only in this line. La ilaha, therefore, illallah. Do you follow me? The things they cannot make themselves exist. Therefore, the things really exist. I'm experiencing it. The source of existence of the things must be the one who created the universe.
Yes, but the fact that I can say I don't know.
No. The daily language, you can say, for
It
example,
exists-
what is the
it exists by the
capacity?
simple fact that I can say.
So you can say it, the ability to say it, but the content of it, if you are given the ability to know something, it's just created. If you don't know something, it is not created. When you say, well, not the language-wise, the content of this word is or does not exist.
Yes, very complex to simple.
Yeah. So the
But
content
form
does not exist.
exist.
Yeah, but the
form that
ability
is-
to say yes. So the Quran says, let those people who want to deny, let them deny. They can choose, but there's no reality. Let those people, you know. What was the worst? فَلْيَكْفُرْ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ. What is the beginning? When I think about it, it doesn't come. So let those people who want to deny, they will deny. The option is open. Let those people who confirm the truth, they will confirm. It's an option, but the content of what exists is and is the one which exists. The content of what doesn't exist. But I can claim everything, and when I claim something, this claim is created. But the content of it, my responsibility is to decide about the content of it. Now I knew that the subject is so subtle, and I knew that it is somehow the methodology that we are talking about here is not known, commonly known. Well, some people may know the subject better than I do, but commonly it is not known. It is not known among Christians, it is not known among Jews, it is not known among Muslims, but some scholars hinted. Be careful, but they say, I don't want to go into this. They make the point, but in our life now, in this age, it is not discussed. It is not really talked about among the believers. We use the language, angels. I believe in angels. I don't know what I mean. I believe in the Satan. I don't know what I mean. Now, and I believe in God. I don't know what I really mean. Just that simple tradition, carry on the narration, or they call it narratives. Muslim narratives. That's it, heritage we learned from our forefathers. So that is why I know how to refresh the mind is very difficult. It's very difficult. That's why I go into details and get the background ready. So it looks repetitive. For example, how many times we refer to the meaning of the creation represented by something which is called, we may name it as angels, and also non-existent things, which is not really meaning, represented in any way in the creation, which is represented by something called Satan. So these are, I'm not saying they don't exist. No, they are vehicles. They are vehicles. You know, a trailer or a truck can carry gold, and the same truck, or not the same truck, another truck can carry trash. So do you blame the truck? Huh? What they carry is important. Now, what angel carries, the reality. What Satan carries, non-existent. Yeah, he is the trash. Truck. You do understand? But there is no need to talk about the nature of the trucks. No. I know I received the gold. I know I received the trash. Example. But it received it or it arrived to my address by a vehicle. The Quran puts the name angel vehicle, Satan vehicle, and says choose which one you want to receive and accept. Trash truck comes to my door and says, I have something to do, deliver that. Thank you, take it away. Now, if someone comes with, I don't know, gold, something nice, let's say, nice food, and with the truck, and they say, oh, bring it. That's our choice. These are just analogies, to make the things understandable. So don't discuss what is angel. Do they exist individually? These are all trash discussions. And what is Satan? Do they really have an external existence? Can you imagine that Satan is something, argues with God, which is simple and obvious. Satan is created, if it exists, it's created by God. How a created being can argue with the creator? Of course, it represents something, gives me a clue to understand what is going on in my world. Right? There is no way or there is no need to fall into the discussion of nature of Satan, nature of angel or something. There is no need for it. Understand what they represent for me and how am I going to benefit from this representation and what is my duty from now onwards. We have to talk about this kind of subjects all the time. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, on many occasions. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم الحمد لله رب العالمين. But the next verse, you know what we have been discussing, you may think that it is not in the context of the Quran. Look the next verse, what it says. Yeah, which way then are you going? Now, you know which one you are taking. Satan's inspirations or angels' representation. Which one? It's beautiful language in Arabic. It's so poetic. So, hey man, where are you going? Which way are you following? Hey, wake up! Yeah, you see that it's nothing to do with the previous one, right? And read the previous sentence. It seems to be. He did certainly see the angel messenger on the clear horizon. Oh, somebody saw the angel on the clear horizon. Oh, what a great man! He was able to see that. Nothing to do with me. And he doesn't withhold concerning the unseen. It means concerning dancing, he discloses everything. And this is not the message of the Satan. Yes, make it simple. And then looks like irrelevant. Hey, where are you going? Huh? Do you understand? But you have to see the link between the previous verses and this sudden, as if the content is changing. No. It's the following verses are exactly talking about the same subject related to you personally. Inshallah, we will continue about it, but for the moment, inshallah, if you understood what Satan is something, for me, today, a little bit even, it is a great success. Alhamdulillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.